Hey friends, it's Dwight. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing great. So I'm sitting outside here. I know you're looking at the reflection in my window here, but there's my little buddy down there. He's wanting to come outside. I do have a cat door on the other glass door farther down, but he doesn't know how to use it yet. Anyway, we're going to do a pour today. I'm going to work on a large canvas, 36 by 36. I was trying to go larger, but I couldn't find the right canvas at Michael's, which is typical, and I don't order online because if canvases are warped, that's a whole other issue to try to deal with getting your canvas level. So I'm going to use a whole bunch of color today. The full spectrum of blues, reds, oranges, purple, plum, and some leftover colors from a previous pour. All of these paints are DecoArts Americana brand paints, except for a few paints that are going to be goldens, and it's just a little bit of paint. I'm just going to use it in the pour. So I'm hoping that it's quite colorful. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be doing the colander or the strainer. I'm thinking maybe strainer because I haven't done it on this large of a canvas yet, I think. Anyway, I'm going to get started here in a few minutes. I got to clean up my studio. It's a mess. In the process of varnishing paintings, getting them ready for a show in November. So I have a lot going on, and I'm trying to enjoy the warm weather before it gets a little colder here in Florida. But yeah, so we'll get started here in a few minutes, and I will then show you the colors we're going to be using today. Okay guys, here I am. I'm back in my studio. Here are my paints. I'm going to be using these paints today. I'm not quite sure of the actual order, but I'm going for it. And I've got a few other colors I'll show you that are just leftover paints from a pour that I did that didn't go so well. So here we go. I'm going to show you these paints once I get them mixed up, and then we'll get started. Okay guys, these are the colors I'm using today. As you can see, there's quite a bit of color today. The smaller cups are the ones that are left over from a previous pour. Like I showed you, the rest of them are DecoArts Americana brand paints. So I've got like this burgundy color, this orange, and then this orange, then this sort of peach color, white, blue, teal, and red. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with this, add some white, add some this, maybe a little bit more white. These colors, then a break of white, blue, some more white, excuse me, and the rest of these with maybe white in between the turquoise and the red. I'm not sure yet, guys, so I need to figure this out as I slowly mix the paints and make sure that they're all at the right consistency. So I just want to make another comment about doing these pours. What's important is that you have a contrast sometimes. So that's why I will add in like these lighter colors every so often. That way it just sort of brightens things up. And that's why I usually put white on the bottom or very, very close to the bottom. Okay, that's a lot said. So let's see how it goes. There's my dump paint right there. Here is my little red strainer. We're going to use that and we'll get started. Okay, the canvas is prepped and the paints are all mixed and stirred up and at the right consistency. And here we go. So this is a 36 by 36 canvas. And yeah, I ran out of gloves, so no blue hands today. So I put the strainer pretty much in the middle of the canvas. And I started with this deep burgundy sort of plum color. And like I mentioned in one of the previous segments, I'm just going to slowly stack these colors one by one, maybe about half a cup each, although I used less white because I wanted to use the white throughout the pour. So going with this sort of pumpkin color. And then this light peach color on top of that. So I think I mentioned before too, I wanted to create a little bit of a break. When you're using a lot of color, you want to make sure that you have light and dark. You don't want to have all dark, which will make the canvas and the pour look dark when you're done. Or if they're all too light, then it'll just look muted and just not very colorful. So I was strategically placing the colors between the white, adding a little bit extra white there. Here we go with sort of that turquoise color that was left over. And then I had some of this turquoise as well. So around this point of the pour, I was thinking, wow, a lot of colors here. I hope that they work well together and create some interesting composition as well as interesting cells. I think I poured that red on last, then added some more white. Well, use all the white there. And then I'm going to rotate back through the colors, a little bit different order this time. Started with the maroon, or burgundy, or plum. And then I went to the red. And then just stack the colors. So I went with that peach color on top of the red just to kind of lighten that up, since the red was next to that darker plum burgundy color. And then the orange on top of that. And then whatever's left on the bottom, got a little bit out there, not a whole lot. I just wanted a little bit of a separation between the orange and the blue. There we go. Going to use the rest of the colors here. So that was 7 8-ounce cups, and then there were 4-ounce cups, but they were only filled maybe halfway. So as you can do the math, there's quite a bit of paint on there. And my dump paint is 24 ounces, so that's a lot as well. But remember, on these large canvases, you have a lot of edges, a lot of space to dump off, so having more paint is better than not. That way you can make sure that you cover the entire canvas without overstretching, which can create pearls that don't form round. They form elongated and just stretched out. So I was pouring this slowly. Now actually this video is sped up just ever so slightly, but you can still tell I was moving pretty slowly. So this canvas is heavy. I just want to let you know that with all that paint. So over the edge, over that edge, bring it back a little bit. I almost dropped it. And then that last edge. Now what you can't see are that the pearls and cells are starting to develop on top of the canvas. When I put it down, you'll be able to see. You can tell on the sides there. So the challenge was getting it back into my tray because, like I said, it fit just perfectly. Like that upper right corner wasn't quite in, I think. Just had to move it around a little bit, also tapping the canvas to get any bubbles that are underneath to come up through. So I'm just watching it. I'm drying my hands here. Going to get up and I'm going to put it on time lapse here in just a second. So I wanted to do the time lapse separate because sometimes it doesn't really show you how all of this color comes through. And this happened fast. Even though time lapse is already sped up, I have not sped up this segment. I'm going to leave it the same. But as you can see, as time goes on, the colors get richer and richer. Let's see the wet walkthrough. Okay guys, here we are with the initial wet walkthrough. I'm overly excited and pleased with this one. Wish my negative space was a little bit smaller, but that's just me being critical. But the pearls in this, the cells are just like perfect, for me at least. And these are all DecoArts Americana brand paints, except for a little bit of mixture of the Golden's paint of those 3 small cups that I showed you. So I just want to show you the details. I mean, this is what's so beautiful about it. And even those colors in the negative space, just look. Yes. So much color. Yeah, so there we have it. I'm gonna let it sit overnight, let it dry. The edges are already starting to dry. You can kind of see, kind of dry as a reflection there. But the colors are great. I have a few dots that may come in, but I'm not gonna take anything out except the edge. Those 2 little dots right there, I will fill them in a little bit just to make them pop, because I don't want to take anything away since the negative space is small. Now, I don't think anything else is going to happen to this pour at this point because, because it's already starting to dry and it's starting to congeal a little bit on top. I did sort of bump this around a little bit to see if it opens up anything, but we'll just have to wait and see. The bulk of the paint is right there, so that's part of it. So, okay. So we'll see how it looks in the morning, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me this afternoon, and we'll do part 2 coming up in just a minute. Okay, guys, this has dried overnight, and I'm gonna go in and just touch up a little bit. I just wanted to show you up close some of these pearls and cells. They're about as perfect as you can get. I mentioned it in a previous video. I'm pretty sure that there's something in the floetrol that either makes the cells beautiful like this, or it also makes them a little bit wonky. I'm not really sure, but that's sort of been an observation recently. So all I'm gonna do is sort of clean up that edge. That's about it. Maybe dot those 2 little pearls there. If I feel that my hand is steady enough, I may make some of those a little bit bigger, but that's about it. And then I'll show you the dried results, and we'll be done. Okay, so here we are. Gonna do just a few touch-ups on this painting. It's a large painting, as you can tell, and at this point I'm just cleaning up the edges and then a few of the dots that are around on the canvas there. I'm keeping some of these dots, as you'll see in just a moment, as I go in and just sort of paint them out just a little bit and highlight them. I wanted to make sure that we had enough attention drawn to that negative space. So I'm just going in, as you can see, just dotting some of these, and making sure they're dry. Now the other colors over here, as you can see, at first I made it kind of bright. So I go back in eventually and kind of tone it down because some of these pearls and cells are multi-layered anyway. Okay guys, we're about done here. Let's do the final walkthrough. Okay guys, here we are with the final results. That little short clip of the touch-ups, just sort of highlighting a few of those dots. Didn't really do too much except take out the edge, but I think we're done. So I'm gonna move in one more time because I can never get enough looking at the close-ups of these pearls. Just want to take those all in. They're just really, really nice. The blue and the orange. Yeah. So that's good. Good. 36 by 36. Think about maybe hanging it this way. It's always hard to tell. Sometimes I change my mind when it comes time to having to hang it. I mean, I could do it this way. Yeah, either way. I mean, there's some interesting composition with this. You know, this sort of mimics, there's some pull down here. This goes around and it has that down there as well. We'll see. Okay guys, thanks for hanging out with me. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the notes below, or you can email me at dwightpours@yahoo.com. It may take me a little time to get back with you on my email because I only check it once or twice a week. So be patient or ask a question down below. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you real soon.